Hello, Scorpio. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Jen with Bohemian Path Tarot. Let's do your December reading. Okay. Oopsies. Gotta get your modesty crystal on the world there. You know, YouTube doesn't like nudity in any form, even illustrated. Okay. So this is a general intuitive reading for a general Scorpio audience. Oh my goodness. So please take what resonates for you and leave the rest for another Scorpio. Oh wow. Okay. So I'm going to toss out a few different examples of how these energies might show up. You know, I'm limited to my experience and the experience of my friends and people I've read for. So, you know, take what resonates for you, extrapolate how it might show up for you, leave what doesn't. And be sure to check out the videos for your major astrological placements, including your sun sign, your rising sign, and your moon sign. Those tend to be the most helpful. Now, I've got the Star Maiden Tarot on the table here. I've also got, let's see, I keep getting this wrong, Runes for a Modern Life rune deck. And then of course, the classic Wisdom. What is wrong with me? Wisdom of the Oracle. I've done a few readings already today. So this is the Wisdom of the Oracle. We'll pull a rune card and an oracle card. So Scorpio, your rune is... Oh, okay. Well, there just isn't a better rune there. And your oracle card is... Chaos and Conflict. Okay, let's start with your rune. Now, I said there couldn't be a better rune card, and you know, that's not super accurate. There are there are a handful of great runes. This is among them. This is Sowilo, or the Sun rune. And of course, the Sun rune is one of the victory runes. It's clarity, it's honor, achievement, it's rest even, or like vacation. It's mostly positive, you know. Sometimes it can be a little too much of a good thing. Sometimes that's how the positive runes are. So there's always the reminder not to indulge too much. But you know, it's otherwise a very positive rune. The sun is the center of our universe. It's our life force. It gives us light, so it shows us everything. It illuminates. It gives us energy. So those are the positive attributes, right? Interestingly, the other oracle card we have here, Chaos and Conflict, suggests there might be an environment around us where there is some chaos or conflict or, you know, friction. And usually when we find ourselves in an environment or engaged in chaos or conflict, that, now this is the interpretation of the card, is that that chaos or that conflict or that friction reflects friction or chaos, or maybe a stubborn impulse within us. So when we experience chaos or conflict externally, it's an invitation or an opportunity to look within and say, where is the chaos within me? Where am I holding on to some storm energy? Where am I, or maybe some stubbornness? So I offer that to you in light of what we've got going on also in the tarot. We have moments of beauty and transformation here, and we also have some moments of doubt and lack of clarity. So it's interesting that we have this sun and then maybe some stubbornness or confusion or sort of stick in the mud or sort of being stuck to an expectation in your oracle cards here, and we do see that a little bit in your tarot. So let's and that's not a judgment, even though we have judgment here. That's just an opportunity to release, maybe an expectation that is not serving you. How about that? So let's look at the tarot and see if we can bring more light into the situation and maybe let go of that that energy that is not serving you. In the first week here, we have all light. We have both the Queen of Wands and the Page of Wands. And this energy is very fiery, very inspired, very much about leadership and progress and inspiration. Now, the thing about these two characters, if you want to call them that, the Queen is it definitely can be an actual character, an actual person in your life who models leadership behavior, who models going forward after what they want, being someone who wants a goal and puts in the effort, puts in the legwork, employs charm, employs direct action towards their goal, and is a real leader towards it. And this person could either be modeling behavior for you, being direct and taking action and being hardworking, as well as charming and seeking progress. But this person could also have an invitation, an offer, a job, a recommendation, advice, a connection, something like this. This person could be in the arts, could be in a position, could be like a teacher, could be a litigator, could be, this person could be as someone who is comfortable in front of an audience. So Scorpio, who this person is and what they have for you could vary, depending on your situation. It'll be different for different Scorpios. But whether they have something for you, or they're modeling behavior for you, or it's a chance for you to step into sort of Queen of Wands mode and use your charm and magnetic personality to go after something you want, I'll let you decide on that. But following that, or paired with that, is this Page of Wands energy. Now, pages can be messages or sometimes messengers, but it's some news or an announcement around something exciting, something inspired. Could be the arts, could be something athletic, could be dance, could be theater, music, something in front of an audience, or something to do with children. This could be a job posting that really excites you. This could be a club or a group or something that you want to be associated with, that you want to join. This could be the connection that the Queen of Wands has for you, something like that. But in any case, in the first week, it looks like there's some sort of inspired connection or opportunity through or via or modeled by, inspired by the Queen of Wands. Now, in the next column, we have an interesting combo. The Seven of Cups typically indicates a time when you are seeing a lot of options, but maybe not everything is really for you specifically. It could be that you are seeing more opportunities than are really right for you. Now, this could be depending on where you're at in your life and you're seeking certain opportunities or seeking to make changes. This could be on dating apps. This could be in the job, arena. It could be in the housing market, seeking roommates, wherever you are looking at making a sort of connection or finding something that is right for you. It could be that you are feeling overwhelmed with options, but the truth is there are fewer options that are right for you, and you may be confusing yourself with an assortment that isn't really viable or true or realistic. You could also be, it could also be the reverse is true, that you're not really presenting yourself in an authentic way. And you could be, like, for example, I know not every Scorpio is looking on dating apps, but sometimes if you don't present yourself in an authentic way, you can get weird matches that don't really reflect like the truth of you, that aren't really a good realistic match because of how you're presenting yourself. Maybe your pictures aren't accurate, or you're hiding behind a wall, like literally hiding kind of in shadows, or you're using too many filters or something like that. Or on a job search, you're not using enough filters and you're overwhelmed with too many options to go through or something like that. Or if you're looking at houses, maybe you're looking at houses that aren't realistically in your price range, or, it could be any number of things. But there's a call here to be more authentic in both your sort of presentation and the truth of who you are. Judgment is a card that is all about coming out of confinement, coming out of a small box, coming out of, in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith version of this card. Oh no, I didn't see this one also needs a, oh my gosh, I totally didn't see this one needs a modesty crystal. Oh, this has come up in other readings and I didn't even see that. Oopsies. Sorry about that. I got a little distracted. What was I saying? In the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith version of this card, the characters that the angel, this is supposed to be an angel, the characters that the angel is calling forth are all coming out of little coffins. So they're all leaving their old life. Their old life is dead, and they're stepping naked into, that's why she's naked. They're stepping naked into a brand new life. So the good news is you are stepping into a new life, a new version, a new, more truthful, real, vulnerable version of you is being called upon right now. You're being asked in this moment for whatever you are seeking, whether it's a job or a new relationship or honestly, a house or a roommate or whatever it is you're going after. It is time for you to be more authentically you, more truthful. So being truthful about, your yearly wage when it comes to your housing, being truthful about, how you present yourself online, you're using your pictures without filters, so on and so forth. You get the idea, right? Judgment is all about being honest with yourself and being forgiving of yourself for the truth of who you are, not needing to fake it, not needing to apologize, not needing to hide behind walls or shadows or filters or any of that. And just owning the truth of who you are in, whatever environment you're seeking the new chapter. Okay, I've belabored that long enough. In the next column, we have the world paired with the moon. The world is another new chapter card. It's the card that follows judgment. So as these characters are stepping out of the little coffins, as they're called forth by the angel, then they step into the world when they're fully free of their coffins. The judgment card is kind of like the realization, oh, I'm not this. I don't belong to that world. I belong to this new world. And then that the judgment is the realization. It's the revelation. And the world card is finally living in that new life, right? It's finally the chapter begins. The new life begins. So here it is, here the new chapter, but it seems like this new life, this new chapter might be a little daunting or confusing because it's paired with the world. Now you'll remember when we talked about the sun rune, we love the sun because it's illuminating, it gives us life, it gives us light, it gives us clarity. Well, the moon is the opposite. The moon is the absence of light. And without light, we don't have direction. The moon card indicates a phase. Oops, that's not even on camera. The moon card indicates a phase when we don't have clarity. When instead of seeing where we are and where we're headed, you can see there's kind of a map motif in this card, right? We can see where we're headed under the light of the sun, right? If we have a map, we have a direction, and with the light, we know where we want to go. But when there's no light, we don't know where we are, we don't know where we're headed, we're a little befuddled and lost, and all we have is our gut. And sometimes our gut is great, but it's better to warn us about predators. It's not great to tell us which direction to go to reach our goals, right? Our gut is better for warnings than it is about guidance systems. You know what I mean? So it's just a phase. But the moon card can tell us that we may be a little disoriented, or we might not get, a good head start the third week. But here we are in the fourth week, and we have the Fool card. The Fool card is the very first major arcana card. It kind of technically follows the World. The World is the last card, then we start all over again. It's that Alpha and the Omega. So this is also about new beginnings. It's being about absolutely fresh, a new beginning, feeling like a newbie, but being okay with it, knowing, not having any expectations, not having any, and that's the thing. Didn't we talk about that over here? A lot of times our, stubbornness is being attached to a particular outcome. But the Fool does not have an attachment to an outcome. The Fool doesn't know what to expect. So he's very light. He's very carefree because he doesn't need to know where he's going. He doesn't have any expectation of where he's going. He doesn't have any expectation of what he's going to see. He's just going to let it all unfold. So you can release any expectations, and you release the sort of chaos around you, right? I apologize that this is getting a little preachy, but I'm just reading what's here. I'm just reading what the cards are saying. And there's very much a call, a literal call from the angels here to let go of an old life, let go of an old way of being, and just being raw and vulnerable and honest, just showing up naked. Like literally, we've got a couple of cards where it's absolutely about freeing yourself from the old way of being and being completely reborn, having no expectations, and not letting that disorient you, not letting that cause you to lose any more sleep. The Nine of Swords can be the card of worry, right? No, the Fool does not have any worries. He sits above this Nine of Swords. He does not need to have any worries. And look, she's worried about this chaos and conflict. Can you see it in her? But you can release that by not having any expectations of what's coming next. It's okay to be a newbie. It's okay to enjoy the journey. I know that sounds super preachy. I know. But when you release the expectations and you give in to the vulnerability here in these major arcana cards, that's where the victory is. These are actually cards of success and victory. But the trick is you have to allow for the vulnerability. The Fool is ready to accept whatever comes. And with that acceptance, that's where the fun stuff comes. Okay, Scorpio, I'm going to leave it there. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you so much for joining me. If this has been useful, I invite you to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, all that good stuff. In any case, please take good care. Until next time, bye for now.